Welcome to Mystic Conversations with Kamish, where we journey into the realms of the unseen, the mystical, and the magical. Kim Etherington and Reverend Michelin Walton will be your guides on an exploration of the esoteric and the extraordinary. Each week, we'll dive deep into the mysteries of the universe, modern spiritual practices, and the profound experiences of those who walk the mystic path. Whether you're a seasoned spiritual seeker or just curious about the mystical world, Mystic Conversations is here to enlighten, inspire, and ignite your inner magic. So light your candles, open your mind, and let's embark on this enchanted adventure together. Good afternoon. You know, that intro is really good.
It's really something.
It is really something.
Yeah,
I'm listening to it. I'm like, wow, I don't know if we're going to live up to that, but we'll see. Anyway.
You know, you're fantastic. Your facilitator voice is on point.
Thank you.
I really do enjoy that.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
Okay. So welcome everybody to Mystic Conversations with Kamish. I am Kim Etherington, the Kit of Kamish.
And I am Reverend Michelin, the Mish
of Kamish. Kamish, right.
The Mish of Kamish.
Mish of Kamish. So we'll just start with you if you want to do a quick introduction, and I'll we'll
okay,
go from
so hi again. I am the Ish of Kamish.
Right.
I'm currently spending time here in the store in Colburn, Mystic Avenue. I've known Kim for a very long time. It's a pleasure to be back working with her. We always have a lot of fun, and we get a lot of things done, and we really have a passion about sharing with community. So that's something we have in common.
Absolutely. And I am Kim Etherington. I am one of the co-owners of the store, Mystic Avenue, and we opened May 11th at 11:11. Samantha Tekalik, my partner, is also an owner of the store, and she's probably going to do a little talking today. We hope from the control room. We'll see. So
yeah.
A couple of housekeeping things. So we are live on Facebook, Instagram, as well as YouTube, right. And we have Samantha in the control booth. Samantha, how are you today?
I'm welcome, thank you.
Oh, she's doing well. That's great.
She is great.
So Samantha is a millennial, so thank God, because I'm a Gen X, you're a boomer.
I'm a boomer, baby.
And we...
So you don't want me to touch
nothing.
Any technology.
Nothing, yeah.
Technology.
Yeah.
I can't even say it.
I can't say it, let alone operate it. So Samantha will be... any comments that come in or questions, and please feel free to make comments, ask questions. We'd love to hear from you, and she will convey those to us so that we can address them and we can interact. That would be great. We have new store hours. So Tuesday to Friday, we are now 11 to 6. And
Summer hours,
yes. Correct.
Yeah.
11 to 6. And Saturday and Sunday, we are 11 to 5. So those stay the same. It's just the Tuesday to Friday. We had our first wine and wisdom last week.
That was
so
great.
much fun.
I really had a good time.
I had a really good time.
That charcuterie board was off the charts.
That charcuterie, yeah.
You are a charcuterie expert.
Let
me tell you.
I appreciate that.
And you know what? The one thing that I did enjoy about that is first of all, it gives you a wonderful opportunity to try something new.
Yes.
It's great for birthday parties, showers, get-together. It's kind of like an alternative to a paint night. And if you've ever wanted to have a reading or a healing, it just gives you a little taste of it. So it's like a soul spa sampler.
It was
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a small group event. It can you may or may not know the group, but you could book it for your own group, or you can come individually. You get a reading, you get a healing, you get a charcuterie, you get a little wine.
Retail therapy.
Host interesting, stimulating conversation.
That's on your part, no doubt.
That's my part. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm the stimulating conversation piece. So that was really good. And I think our next one is July 18th. So if you're interested in taking part in Wine and Wisdom, feel free to reach out and we'll give you some information on that. We have Full Moon Medium.
Full Moon Medium. Let's not forget about the Full Moon Medium.
Talk about Full Moon Medium.
So I'm really excited about that. This is really coming together. We're really excited to offer this for you because it's going to be something very different than what I even imagined it was going to be like, because it's the people that are coming in, how we're talking, and there's going to be messages. We're going to have a little meditation, and we're also going to teach you how to connect with your loved ones. And I think that's really important, because I think a lot of people feel when somebody close to them passes away that they're gone forever. And what we want to do is give you those tools so that you know that you can get in touch with them by yourself. And also we'll have guardians of the space, which is going to go along with what we're talking about today.
Yeah, perfectly. Yes.
Yeah, sacred spaces. We'll have guardians of the space, so the space will be set up so everybody is going to be looked after and supported in their process, in their connections. You can get those on Eventbrite
and through the store. So
through the store.
You can do email money transfer. You can come in and pay, or you can purchase with credit card on Eventbrite. Either one.
Eventbrite.
Yes. Eventbrite.
That's on the
computer.
Oh,
the computer. That's on the interweb.
Oh, I still
have
I still have an abacus and 2 tin cans.
Yes, that's right.
Come in, mothership. Hello.
Okay, so that's Full Moon Media.
That's a Full Moon Media.
July 21st, and that will be in our new space, which is a great segue. So we take over the space next door, which is currently Vintage Cafe, but as of July 1st, they are moving out. We're moving in and doing a quick reno in there, and then we'll be ready to start for Full Moon Medium on July 21st. But on July 22nd, so that space is actually named Mystic Avenue Yoga and Wellness Studio. Correct. That is right. So I am going to, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm going to invite Samantha in the control booth to talk about what's going to be happening there as of July 22nd. Take it away, Samantha. Tell us about it.
Okay, as of July 22nd, Mystic Avenue Yoga and Wellness Studio will be opening up next door to the Crude Metaphysical store that we have. And I'm going to actually be offering yoga. I'll be doing prenatal yoga as well as parent and baby yoga. And we have Penny McQueen, who will be facilitating a yoga teacher training. And that starts September 2024 and runs until April 2025. So if you have any interest in that, you can reach out to us and we can let you know more about the training. And Penny will also be offering a variety of classes within yoga, Pilates. She has workshops that she'll be offering as well. If you have any interest in particular yoga, you can reach out to us as well, and we can do our best to have that available to you.
So I know that people have asked when they came into the store, will we be offering gentle yoga or chair yoga? And the answer is absolutely yes. There'll be, all the way up to like what Samantha said, up to Yoga Fit, which is obviously a more advanced.
And I think, and
is that what we would say?
Are we advanced?
I don't know.
Well, look at us. We're doing a podcast.
Or
whatever.
It's a live stream.
Oh, it's a live stream. Well, do you think are there people out there? Are there people out there? Yeah. Hello. That also goes along with, I feel, the whole energy here at Mystic Avenue is, come on in and share how can we serve you? We're big on community. I'm going back to that. We're big on community. How can we serve you? What's going to help you? Because as we empower the community, raise the vibration, share some knowledge, get together in community and share that knowledge, we're only going to grow and get better, and it's going to get better for the future generations.
Yeah. So we're super excited about the new space for sure. Okay, so what's our topic today? Our topic today is what?
You don't want me to guess it like you normally do?
No, that was last week.
Was intuition.
That was intuition.
So I already know because it's on my piece of paper.
Right.
Today, our topic is sacred space. So you out there in TV land, I've always wanted to say those things.
Now you get the opportunity.
Oh, thank you. You out there in TV land. What do you think? What is a sacred space to you? We'll have the control room if anything comes up. But Kim, what's a sacred space to you?
Well, I think I would define sacred space as any space set aside for sacred activity. So I think sometimes when people think about sacred space, they think about places like churches or
synagogues,
exactly, temples, anything that is kind of obviously sacred space, right?
Super obvious.
That's pretty obvious.
Yes.
But sacred space really can be a space that you dedicate as sacred for your activities that are sacred. And it can be small, it can be in your home, it can be outside. I think it can be anywhere, really. So that's the definition for me of sacred spaces.
Agreed. And I think, again, like you said, when we think of sacred spaces, we go right to the big bam, pow, wow. It can be something as simple as, for me, every morning I have a little desk. I have some cards. I have an altar with some crystals, some pictures of my family, a pen and paper to write down intentions. Every morning when I wake up, I go fill up my water. I rub my hands together. I tune my water. I say my prayers or my mantras, my affirmations. And perhaps I spend 5, 10, 15 minutes there, but that is my sacred space. It holds the energy, it holds the intention, and it's different from perhaps another desk or piece of furniture in the space that I'm currently holding. It's different. Sacred things are done there, prayer is done there, blessings are done there. That's where I sit, and I'm at one with myself, and I'm really, there's a focused intention.
And really, all those things that are done there are wonderful sacred things. It's also important what's not done there. Right?
Exactly.
So what's not done there is a phone call. What's not done there is texting or email or any of those. Eating. Yeah. Outside of your water, but
you just dancing.
You do dance or you don't dance?
No, we're not on the table.
Because you could do not on the table. No, definitely.
Not that I've never done that.
No. Never done. You've done that, just not in that sacred
Not on that sacred space.
That's right. Okay.
That's mine.
Okay. But dancing can be done in a sacred space. There's lots of dancing that is considered sacred.
So, for example,
ecstatic dancing, right? So ecstatic dancing is very much about a sacred space, right? And I think what's interesting about the space you create for ecstatic dancing, which is basically a free-form dancing. It's not learning the steps. It's not line dancing. It's connecting to yourself, your inner self, connecting to the music at the same time, and allowing yourself to move uninhibited.
Yes.
And so in order to do that type of dance, of course, you need sacred space. And that sacred space translates into safe space.
Guidelines. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which goes into, if I'm signing up for a ecstatic dance, my experience has been, first of all, it comes up, this is what the ecstatic dance is. This is when it is, this is where it is, and then this is what it is. When you get there, the facilitator, host, who's ever holding that space, will let you know what happens. We don't take pictures in this space.
Right.
There is no talking in this space. If you choose to have a conversation, please remove yourself out. These are the parameters with
the physical boundaries.
The physical boundaries are laid.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's just an example of an activity. But I mean, there's all kinds of activities and rituals that take place.
Well, there's the indigenous culture, and
many of them. Yes.
They have a lot of fires. They have water ceremonies. There's smudge ceremonies, and that's all done in a circle.
Right.
And everybody has their specific role. There's the storyteller. You've also done sweat lodges.
I have attended a sweat lodge, yes, led by an Indigenous leader.
And
yes.
So what did that look like? And
that was a really powerful sacred space. So I think, the important thing about sacred space too, like we're talking about the physical space, but what happens in the space, we talk about, you sitting alone at your desk in the morning is quite different than a group that comes together. And so when you do a lodge, for example, that would be usually a group of people that come together with specific agreements. And when you're working in a group, the raising of vibration is totally different. And your contribution,
magical.
It is, and your contribution to the process is what's sacred. So if I go to, for instance, I think Sweat Lodge is a good example. I am making an agreement when I go in there not to leave. And that is
hard.
It's really hard. That is hard.
I've done a sweat lodge as well,
and
that is hard.
It is really hard. But you are making
that's a challenge.
Yeah, you should not be doing so. And I mean, I think
you don't take it lightly.
You don't take any of these things lightly, right? That you sign up for something that's done in a group that is a sacred activity. You are committing to that group.
Yes.
And you're committing to be there, whether it's a sweat lodge and not leaving the lodge because it's too physically challenging for you, or it's a meditation, or it's, some type of group activity. You make that commitment and you are there to hold space on behalf of the group. And that's
Really important, I think.
It's really important because you've moved from the me to the we.
Right.
So as you were saying, at my desk, I sit there. It's okay. If I want to get up and go, I can get up and go. But
Right.
I was at a big festival. I do a lot of festivals around the world, and I was at a big festival, and I went to a workshop. And the idea of the workshop was to release pain and trauma. And so the facilitator said, this workshop is going to be 60 minutes. If you are not able to stay for the full 60 minutes, we ask that you just remove yourself. That's where sacred responsibility comes from. We will have guardians. So you'll have the circle, you'll have people coming into the circle. As the group, we move from the me to the we. As the group, we're allowing them to process and go through whatever experience they are having. We're not breaking that circle. And then there were also guardians around that circle. So if I decide, well, geez, you know what, I'm hungry, I want to go get a smoothie, and somebody is going through this massive release, I move from beside you. Now I'm gone. I've energetically, there's a void there now.
Yes, absolutely.
You notice it. It ripples around. The person in the middle notices it. They're going through this work, and the guardians are like, "Oh my goodness, what the heck's going on?"
Yeah.
So there's a big difference in sacred spaces as opposed to just going to a lecture. Not saying that there isn't work put in prior to for a lecture or those sorts of things, but I think what we touch on with the sacredness is there's an agreement. There's an agreement. There's a responsibility, not only for your behavior and you doing work prior to stepping into that space, have a little knowledge, but there's also an agreement to the other people there.
Right, absolutely. And I think when you talk about having a little knowledge is a good idea. So you may find, like, if you go to a festival, or you may find yourself unexpectedly involved in an activity that is in sacred space, and perhaps you didn't have the opportunity to really research, but you feel intuitively called to take part. So you're always doing that with a sense of awareness and mindfulness. And if you're not sure, you can always ask someone, and to just be aware of what the rules and guidelines for the various events or the ritual that you might be involved in. And I think that sometimes you can be involved in things that don't necessarily resonate with you. That doesn't mean you can't take part.
100%.
Doesn't mean that you can't take part fully, but you're doing so in your own way.
Capacity.
And I think you were talking about the process of some of the cathedrals that you would have entered in the Camino. So why don't you tell us what the Camino is?
The Camino is a very long walk.
Very long walk.
Very long walk. It's
like a month long walk.
A month long walk. It's over 800 kilometers.
That's a long walk.
That's a long walk.
Yeah.
It's hard on the tootsies.
Yeah.
And the Camino, it's the Camino de Santiago. It was based first in a religion. It's a religious pilgrimage. And now can be for spiritual. People go there to purge emotions. People go there to get in shape. There's a variety of reasons that you go there. Along the Camino, there are churches and cathedrals, and they are based on the Catholic faith. I personally am not Catholic, but I'm open to all faiths and beliefs. I believe there's something in all of them that can teach us, and some things I'm just not interested. That's okay. If it works for you, it works for you. So what I found there, in order for me to feel comfortable while other people were doing their prayers and that sort of thing, I remember going to the big cathedral at the end, in Santiago. And what they said was, if you're not Catholic and you still want to come up for a blessing, which we're all deserving of love, light, and blessings, just simply put your hands across your chest. So that gave the message to the minister.
You might not be able to hear Michelin right now because her hand's covering her mic.
Check in. So obviously, can you hear me out there? That might give. That's an indication that I am not wanting to receive
the
We don't know anything
The
about
body of Christ.
Thank you.
Oh,
very
hold
much.
on. Samantha's
Sam.
Catholic. She's going to help us.
Samantha, so what does
Well,
that
she was
mean?
raised Catholic.
Okay, what does that mean?
Give it to us, Samantha,
Give it to me.
in the booth. Go.
Yeah, so you're correct. So if you go up with your hands crossed, you're just receiving a blessing from the priest. And if your hands are out, like in a cup position, you're going to receive the communion, the body of Christ.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much.
Woo! We got it. Thank goodness she's in the
I
control
know,
room.
right? Like,
I'm
God.
just like, geez, what am I doing?
Like,
Right?
what
am I
happened?
talking about? And I was even there. Which goes back to another thing. What happens when you get into a secret space and you're like, what?
Oh, hold on.
What
that
am I-
was the gong.
Oh, we just had a comment from Michelle Macos. We love Michelle Macos. She said, we can hear you.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle Mac. Do I know Michelle Mac?
I don't know if you know Michelle Macos. I know Michelle Macos.
Okay, but
She is.
she's holding sacred space
She is
for us
holding
right now,
sacred-
and we
yeah,
appreciate you.
Yeah.
So I
Well, we were talking about, okay, so you don't have to be of a particular faith, belief
exactly.
to take part, and it's actually your responsibility if you place yourself in that situation to do so in a respectful fashion.
I remember what I was going to talk
that's
about.
exactly what we were saying.
We were talking about what happens when you get in a space
Yeah.
that has a sacredness to it, and then you're feeling uncomfortable. I
Right.
was in India facilitating workshops many moons ago, and I went to a workshop, and I wasn't resonating with how the information was being presented. It was they were holding up a piece of paper in front of them like this, and I just wasn't able to energetically connect. I found myself, there was lots of other people there getting some good information. I wasn't the only one there, moving from the me to the we. It's not all about you. Imagine that. It's not all about me.
Shocking.
Shocking. And so I found myself slowly disconnecting.
Right.
And at that moment, I thought, okay, I've made a decision to come here. I signed up for the workshop. I've made a decision to show up. I let the facilitator know that, in fact, I would be in attendance. So I took a spot of somebody perhaps that may have wanted to come. So I made that commitment. There's other people here that are interested in listening. So what am I going to do? I decided I would just start listening to my breathing and start being mindful and do a little bit of breath work and then fill up the room with pink light. And in that way, I moved from a position to being actively involved in the meditation, the program, the workshop, to holding sacred space
For the group.
Right.
Yes.
So I was able to have the wherewithal to do that. And I think that's important because some people, what we don't want to throw out there is don't go to things if you're not sure.
Right.
Definitely. If it's resonating with you, go there. So,
Yes.
and if you're there and it doesn't feel comfortable, you can just be mindful of your breathing, sit there. Because for me, the way I think, you're there for a reason.
Yeah.
And you've
absolutely.
made that commitment. What are
Absolutely.
your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I think that
I love when you agree with me.
I pretty much agree with everything, right? Like,
Oh,
that's just
with me?
yes.
Except when I move things.
Oh, right. I had to bring that up. Okay. So I think it would be good if we could give a little discussion on how people might want to invite sacred space into their own living space. So people might feel a little bit inhibited, like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I should use. And really, it's just as simple as like what you talk about, having a space that is dedicated for you. It does not have to be big. It does not have to be in a prominent spot. It doesn't have to be a whole room. It can be a small bedside table or anything,
Exactly.
but space where you focus your intention when you are in that space or when
Exactly.
you're using that space.
So-
maybe a special candle, maybe some incense.
Mhm.
Or maybe some stones that you found, maybe some crystals that you bought. There's just so many ways that you can personalize a space. Maybe some flowers that you pick that day. Start rhyming them off. What makes
I'm gonna rhyme some stuff off.
Rhyme it off.
I'm
Go.
rhyming them.
Go.
Ding, 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 ding. Go to the forest, go to the water, go to the hills. Oh, that's not a rhyme. That's a song. So another sacred.
It's a song from another decade,
Another-
clearly. Go ahead.
Oh
Go
my
ahead.
goodness gracious.
Boom.
I think we're not. It's The idea is it's not one particular space. It's just what you are doing there. It's what you are doing in that space, and it's how you're going about it. And if it's you go about it in a way that serves you. And if you have committed to a group and moved energetically from the me to the we, please just do a little research prior to. Again,
if you have that opportunity, yes.
And just support the people around you.
Exactly.
By the water, by the hills, by the forest.
Okay.
I bet next one they're going to ask if I could sing more.
Oh, that's true. Dad. More singing.
Who wants to hear more singing?
From Michelin in particular. Yes, this is true. This is true. Okay, so Samantha in the control booth, do you have anything you wanted to add today at all? Anything at all?
Do you have any sacred spaces, Samantha?
Yeah.
Oh, this was a surprise.
Surprise!
Do I have any sacred spaces? I have many. So
tell us about your favorite sacred space.
I'd say my favorite sacred space right now would be my bed.
Okay.
Oh.
And is it just your half, or
I would have thought
whole bed?
What about there's a tree? What about that? That's a sacred space.
Oh yeah, we do have a sacred tree. This is true.
Every space to me is sacred.
Labyrinth. Oh,
yeah, labyrinth, a tree, a path, a trail, a metaphysical store, a room, another room.
Yeah, that's true. A table. We have a lot of. We tend to attach a lot of meaning to a lot of.
But yeah, the one that holds the most meaning to me is my bed when I can go to sleep.
Right. Okay. That's interesting.
And again, we're being open to what does that look like for you. We talked about at the beginning. It goes to, we think about churches and temples and synagogues and those sorts of things. Why can't that be a sacred space?
What if you have
your very what if that's where you feel most comfortable? That's where you feel safe. That's where you set the intention just to take a deep breath and relax and be with yourself. There's so many different ways you can navigate this.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I think that probably brings us to our end of our.
We have a comment.
Oh my gosh,
we have a comment about their sacred space lately.
Oh, okay, tell us.
The Pura Vida Ocean in Costa Rica.
Oh,
Salvina La Rosa Kennedy.
Hi, Salvina. Send some of that warm weather up here, please. It's a little bit chilly, Billy. It's a little bit chilly, Billy. We love, yes, that was, I personally know her, so we are global. Oh my goodness, we're global.
And Dory says, I love that you two giggle in unison.
Oh, this is true. We do? Do we? I didn't know that.
What?
No, what?
Really?
There they go.
There they go.
Okay.
Thank you to everybody.
Thank you. If you took the time to watch us live, we appreciate that very much. If you take the time to watch us unlive,
no, remember, words are power.
Oh, shoot.
Okay. We are live, Kim.
Okay.
We're live.
Right. So if you're watching us recorded later on in when we're this is really hard.
Time for the outro.
Yeah, it's time for the outro for sure. So always remember, the universe is always listening. Pay attention.
Join us again next week.
Join us again next week at 1 p.m. for another spiritual journey. Until then, stay enlightened, stay connected, and may peace be with you.
Namaste.
Namaste.